Instead of, being scared to take her around people, you go show her off in the mall. Instead of, being so mad that you yell at her, you go, watch your favorite movies, or you go to a picnic, or you do something to make her feel appreciated, and because you want them to feel lucky to be with you. That's the whole thing about the relationship. You're so lucky, and you're hoping they feel the same way, that you want to do everything to make them feel as if they're lucky to be with you. Even if you don't have the riches, or the, you don't have the you don't have the smarts, you don't have the looks. I see people in relationships, they're not the best looking in the relationship, but they're definitely happy. They may not be the richest, but they definitely, spend wisely in a way where they can do extra. They hold hands. They kiss each other whenever they get the chance. They say, kind things to each other. They make the other person feel special in the way that they compliment them. You know, it's it's all about it should be about the other person's happiness instead of your own. Your happiness should be in their happiness. If you would think in that way, that would make your task a little bit more easier. That would make you want to do more. If you're not thinking about yourself, you're actually thinking about the other person, and how you can make them smile, and how you can make them feel appreciated, and make them feel as if they're lucky to be with you. We don't want to look at it as if, oh man, they're going to do this if I do too much, or I'm going to be a sucker to everybody else because, I look whipped, or, when things go wrong, everybody's going to laugh at me. You should be able to do more and feel better about it. Give her a day, or massaging, or, lotioning her, lotioning the other person's body, getting them prepared for work a little bit early, making them lunch, making sure the kids are out the way, they're, everything's peaceful for the other person, just doing things to where, it calms the soul. It makes them feel like, man, this person really cares about me. There's been a lot of times where, because of the fact that I didn't do things the right way, the other person couldn't show that they felt like I was the lucky person. So, and now me seeing these things, it makes me look at it like, okay, I'm ready to, you know, um, be the person that I want to be. One thing about me is that I love a woman that has her nails done and has some heels on. So the one thing that I want to do is I want to make her feel great. I want to make her feel great and feel appreciated and feel, you know, um, happy enough to want to put on some heels. I want to, save up enough money to where all the bills or whatever is paid off, so I can sit here and say, go ahead, here's some money, go get your nails, go get your hair done, you can feel good about yourself, and let's go out to dinner. Let's go walk around the mall or something to where, you know, you feel special. Because the more that you make somebody feel special, the more they're going to want to make you feel special. The way you do things is the way that other people are going to want to do things. Um, I notice that a lot of people adapt. They want a person that's just like them, so it's easier to not change from the person that they are. If you're angry, disrespectful, you know, you talk back, or you're strong-willed and you're not really polite. When that polite person, when that person comes that is just like you, or is gonna up the boost of the person that you want to be, you're gonna be happy to be around them, even if it's the wrong person, just because you like that personality. But if it's the other person that makes you feel good, and they're showing you, hey, it might not be uh, good to be angry. Hey, it might not be good to be lazy. It might not be good to be nervous about a situation and handle it in this type of way. It's going to be a hard um, adjustment and a hard change. So it's going to be uneasy feeling. But the more that they make you feel comfortable and they encourage you to be able to be that type of person, you start to see the goodness in what they're doing, and it starts to change in you. You actually start to adapt. So one thing that a person wants to do is to show why it isn't good, and I've said this before, why it isn't good to be the type of person that they find is negative. It's not it's not always that you're going to be able to tell a person, hey, this is not good. It might cause them to be defensive. It might cause them to be prideful and, come against you. But in you doing it and showing them that that it is wrong, and there's another way to doing it, another way of doing it. It actually makes them want to change because you're around them, and that's if that's the type of person you are, it's going to be easy for them to camouflage themselves into that feeling until they make it a regular thing within themselves. And that right there is like you protecting them from themselves, because someone may bring harm upon themselves, or they may be bringing harm upon themselves by the stuff that they do, but you loving them enough to show them how to handle a situation makes things a lot better. So one thing that I feel like I'm supposed to do is protect you from me. Anything that I feel is incorrect, a way to handle the situation, or if I see some bad stuff from another person, and I don't want to be that type of person. I don't want to trigger you into being in a bad mood, or I don't want to be the person that, brings the negatives out of you. I got to be able to see how to adjust myself to make those things possible, to make the good come out of you. So I must not, I must notice a lot about myself and how to handle a situation. I must learn how to handle situations in the right way. Conflict resolution is the best way to do it. Sometimes the situation is not going to be handled in the way that you want it to be handled. With me, I might have to say that I'm wrong. I might have to notice that it's getting a little bit out of hand, and I may need to stop it in a way of, hey, let's move on to a different subject. I'm sorry, I'm wrong, and maybe we can move on from this. Maybe there's another way that we can talk about it in a different subject to where it's not coming back into that confrontation that we were having. And it takes a lot of humbling to do that. But in a sense, if you're willing to learn new things of how to handle a situation, to be with the person that you're with, I advise that very well. For me, I wanted to be in a relationship with a person that I was with so bad that I was willing to learn, different ways of talking to a person, how not to argue, how to talk to a person to make them see the changes that I want them to see. You know, um, Look at it as even Jesus wasn't right just right away. It was a lot of things he said, and later on it happened, and a lot of people had to wait on his proof. He did a lot of things in person, in his time of being around, but at the same time, there was things that he said, hey, you know what, this is going to happen. And people were like, I don't know about that. I don't believe him on that. And then when it started to happen, people started to see, man, okay, now I see what he was talking about. This man was really telling the truth on things. So even he wasn't, right away. And I have to look at it in that. I'm not trying to put myself as Jesus, but I'm just saying, for me to think that I'm going to be correct all the time right away is basically saying that I'm better than him, which I'm not. So it's hard to, when things like that happen, it's hard to accept it, but it's something that is a learning experience, and it's something that I have to put into practice. So I have to learn it. I've been saying that, hey, you know what, I'm wrong. just to be able to get it into into my nature. So when I need to use it, I know how to use it. You know, recognizing the red flags and seeing, okay, this is getting out of hand. Let me calm it down. But that tonight is going to be my show. I'd like to thank everybody for coming out. I didn't want to get into too much rambling on because I may repeat myself over and over again, and I don't want to get into that and bore people out of control. But thank everybody for coming out and listen to the show. If you think that I'm correct, let me know. If you think that I'm wrong, definitely hit me up with a comment. Let me know if there's anything that you want me to talk about as far as the subject. Definitely leave a comment, leave a question. I can I can I could see about putting it in the show to where, it's a subject that I'm talking about. If you feel that I can, feel that I'm the person that can talk about it as correctly. But hit me up. Let me know what's going on. I hope that everybody enjoys their night. And definitely hit me up and holla at me because I'm going to holla at y'all.